Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good day to you, my darling students. My name is Lawal Taufik Adebayo, favorite civic education teacher for JS3 students. As you can see, the scheme of work is as scheduled above. For this week, we have the topic Nigerian Constitution, under which we shall be re-examining definitions of Constitution as well as its sources. A. Introduction. Constitution is a vital document used in the process of organizing the modern human society. The history has it that the ancient human community was a lawless one because it was devoid of any generally acceptable standard. But the current society is, of course, an organized one because its activities are based on certain rules and regulations. This being the case because a democratic state is expected to have activities conducted in accordance with the provisions of the Constitution. As such, Constitution is one of the pillars of democracy. Nigeria's democratic experience is not an exception, as it is expected to have a process of social engineering based on our Constitution. In other words, Nigeria's democracy is expected to have activities traceable to the provisions of the Constitution. It is therefore noteworthy to mention that the current Constitution that is operational in the country is called the 1999 Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria. In this lesson, we shall re-examine definitions and sources of our Constitution. So, our focus will be predicated on Constitution as a whole before streamlining it to the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. B. Definition of our Constitution. Constitution can be defined as a body of agreed rules, regulations, principles, customs, and conventions according to which a country is governed. A constitution is a basic framework of fundamental laws of the land. This is what I suppose Austin Rani, an erudite social theorist and political scientist, had on mind when he gave his definition of constitution. Austin Rani defines a constitution as a whole body of fundamental laws, written or unwritten, legal or extra-legal, according to which our society is governed. So, a democratic society is expected to have activities in conformity with the provisions of the Constitution so as to prevent arbitrary use of powers in the state. C. Sources of Constitution. The following are some of the sources of Constitution. Number 1. Customs and traditions. Customs and traditions of our people are often considered when drafting our Constitution. This being the case for Nigeria, as a country is heterogeneous in nature. The heterogeneity of Nigeria implies that Nigeria as a country is comprised of many ethnic nationalities and tribes, and we have all come together as a country. So, customs and traditions of the people, should be looked into whenever a constitution is to be drafted. Number 2, conventions. Conventions refer to some behaviors and attitudes that most people consider to be right in our society. Conventions are also included in the constitution of our country. Number 3, constitutional conferences. These are conferences in which some selected individuals representing every sector of our society attend to deliberate on matters of national importance. So, the decisions reached at the end of such conferences are used to form new constitutions. Number 4, Acts of Parliament. These are laws made by the legislative arm of democracy. So, they are also among the sources of our constitution. This implies that laws that are made by the legislature at the states and federal levels are often considered as among the sources of constitution. Number 5, judicial precedents. These are referred to as past judgments at law courts on constitutional matters. They often form the basis for a new constitution. Number 6, works of intellectuals, philosophers, and political scientists. These are the products of rigorous intellectual exercise of scholars. For instance, works of Niccolo Machiavelli form the basic foundation for French Constitution. Number 7, constitutions of other countries. Constitutions of the countries such as Britain, the US, France, and so on are looked into to form part of the Nigerian Constitution. Number 8, history of the people. It is also necessary to consider the history of the people when drafting the basic rules that govern them. This being the case for history of a people is often served as the rear view mirror through which they look into what has happened to them in the past with a view to projecting into what may likely happen in the future. So, past political developments do form a part of their history. In conclusion, in this lesson, we have carefully looked into the definitions as well as sources of our Constitution. Of course, you have been previously exposed to this lesson in conventional class situation. This is no more or less a revision work. So I believe you must have properly understood the topic and the lesson as well as the topic taught in it. The following are the assignment questions you have to work on. A. What is a constitution? B. According to Austin Rani, what is a constitution? C. Mention the constitution operational in Nigeria now. D. Is the current constitution operational in Nigeria a pre-colonial, a colonial, or post-colonial one? E. State 5 sources of a constitution. These are the assignment questions you have to work on against next week. Till we meet again, stay lifted and remain blessed always.